Experts estimate that nearly half of the adult population experiences headaches and 12% of Americans get migraine headaches. Women are about 3 times more likely than men to experience migraines. Migraine is much more than a bad headache. This neurological disease can cause debilitating throbbing pain that can leave you in bed for days. Movements, light, sound, and other triggers may cause symptoms like pain, tiredness, nausea, visual disturbances, numbness and tingling, irritability, difficulty in speaking, temporary loss of vision, and many more. Hello and welcome to the Spotlight on Food and Health Communications, your number one go-to media source for credible and timely health information. Victor Waberi is my name. On today's episode of the program, we will be focusing our spotlight on the migraine disease, the migraine headache you like to call it. What is the migraine headache? What are the signs? What are the symptoms? What are the treatments available? What's the diagnosis? This and more we will talk about when we come back. Please stay with me. Welcome back. This is Food and Health Communications, your number one go-to media source for credible and timely health information. And you're on to the program Spotlight, and my name is Victor Waberi. Today on the Spotlight, we are looking at migraine headache. The first question is, what is a migraine? A migraine is a common neurological disease that causes a variety of symptoms, most notably and throbbing, pulsing headaches on one side of your head. Your migraine will likely get worse with physical activity, lights, sounds, or smells. It may last at least 4 hours or even days. And we understand that about 12% of Americans have this genetic disorder. And research shows that it is the sixth, most disabling disease in the world. Now, what are the types of headaches? There are over 150 types of headaches, divided into two categories: primary headaches and secondary headaches. A migraine is a primary headache, meaning that it isn't, caused by a different medical condition. Now, primary headache disorders are clinical diagnosis, meaning there is no blood test or, imaging study to diagnose, to diagnose it. Now, a secondary headache is a symptom of, another health issue. So if you have the secondary headache, it then means that it is actually a symptom of another health issue. Now, what are the types of migraines? There are several types of migraines, and the same type may go by different names. First, we have migraine with aura. And when we talk about migraine with aura, we're talking about the complicated migraine. And we understand that around 15% to 20% of people with migraine headaches experience an aura. Secondly, we have migraine without aura. And when we talk about migraine without aura, we're referring to, the common type of migraine. This type of migraine headache strikes without the warning an aura may give you. So, and we understand that the symptoms are the same, but that phase does not happen. The third type is the migraine without head pain. Yes, the migraine without head pain, also known as the silent migraine or the asphalgric migraine. As this type is also known as, it includes the aura symptom, but not the headache that typically follows it here. And we also have chronic migraine. A chronic migraine is when a migraine occurs at least 15 days per month. The symptoms may change frequently, and so may the severity of the pain. Now, those who get chronic migraines might be using headache, pain medications more than 10 to 15 days a month, and that unfortunately can lead to headaches that happen even more frequently. Now, what are the 4 stages or phases of a migraine? What's the timeline? The 4 stages in chronological order are the prodrome, which is known as the premonitory, secondly the aura stage, thirdly the headache stage, and finally the postdrome. Now, we understand that about 30% of people experience symptoms before their headache starts. The phases are: number 1, let's start from the first phase, the prodrome. The first stage lasts a few hours, or it can last even days. You may or may not experience it as, it may not happen every time. Some know it as the pre-headache or premonitory phase. The second phase is the hour phase. Now, the hour phase can last as long as 60 minutes or as little as 5 minutes. Most people don't experience an hour, and some have both the hour and the headache at the same time. The third stage, the third phase, is the headache phase. About 4 hours to 72 hours is how long the headache lasts. The word ache the word ache doesn't do the pain justice because sometimes it is actually mild, but usually it is described as drilling, throbbing, or you may feel the sensation of an ice pick in your head. Typically it starts on one side of your head and then spreads to the other side. The final stage, which is the fourth stage, is the post-drum. Now, the post-drum stage goes on for a day or two. It's often called a migraine, which is also known as a hangover, and 80% of those who have migraines experience it. Now, it can take about 8 to 72 hours to go through the 4 stages. Yeah. That's how it gets really, really fast. Now, the big question is, having known all this, what are the symptoms of migraines? Because as you know, prevention is better than cure. So what are the signs, what are the symptoms you should watch out for? Now, the primary symptoms of migraine is a headache. That is the primary symptom of a migraine. The primary symptom is a headache. Pain is sometimes, described as pounding or throbbing. It can begin as a dull ache that develops into pulsing pain that is mild, moderate, or severe. If left untreated, your headache pain will become moderate to severe. Now, pain can shift from one side of your head to the other side of your head, or it can affect the front of your head. It can also affect the back of your head or feel like it's affecting your whole head. So it can affect one part of your head or the other part of your head, or go from one side to the other side where it feels as if the whole part of your head is being affected. Now, we understand that some people feel pain around their eye or temple, and sometimes in their face, their sinuses, their jaw, or their neck. These are the basic signs. Now, other symptoms of migraine headaches include, number 1, sensitivity to lights, noise, or doors. So when you begin to notice that whenever a light is turned on, you're very sensitive to it. Whenever there is a loud noise, you're very sensitive to it. Or whenever there is an odor, there's a bad smell, you're very sensitive to it, then you should be careful. It might just be that migraine is by the corner. Number 2, nausea and vomiting, upset stomach, and abdominal pain. When you begin to have nausea, vomiting, upset in your stomach, and probably abdominal pain, you need to watch it. Number 3, loss of appetite. Loss of appetite is another symptom, another sign of migraine. So when you begin to observe that you're beginning to lose your appetite most frequently, that is a sign. Number 4, feeling very warm. That is sweating or having cold chills. That's a sign as well. Number 5, pale skin color. Number 6, feeling tired. Number 7, dizziness and blurred vision. Number 8, tender scalp. Number 9, diarrhea. And number 10, fever. Actually, fever is rare. Diarrhea is rare. So most times when you have a fever, when you have a diarrhea, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a migraine. It's actually one of the rare symptoms that happen to people who still go further to have a migraine. Now, most migraines last about 4 hours, although severe ones can last much more longer. Now, how often do migraines happen? Are migraines hereditary? Can children get migraines? Do migraines cause permanent brain damages? If I have a migraine, does that mean I'll get another disease? Well, all these and more I will give answers to after this break. Please stay with me. Welcome back. It's still the program Spotlight on Food and Health Communications, and we are wrapping down on the Spotlight today. We have been looking at the migraine disease, the migraine headache. We've seen the signs, we've seen the symptoms, we've seen what the migraine is, and right now I'm giving answers to those questions I put out there before going on the break. Now, the first question is this: how often do migraines happen? Well, we understand that the frequency of a migraine could be once a year. once a week or any amount of time in between. Now, having 2 to 4 migraine headaches per month is the most common. Are migraines hereditary? Well, migraines tend to run in families. As many as 4 out of 5 people with migraines have a family history. If one parent has a history of migraines, their child has a 50% chance of having them. If both parents have a history of migraines, the risk jumps to 75%. Again, up to 80% of people with migraines have a first-degree relative with the disease. Now, can children get migraines? The answer is yes. But pediatric migraines are often shorter and there are more stomach symptoms. Now, finally, who should I see about my migraine pain? Very simple. Discuss your symptoms with your primary care provider first. They can, diagnose migraine headaches and start treatment with you. So if you observe that you have a migraine headache, don't take to self-medication. We've always said it here. Self-medication is not the best way to go. So if you observe that you've seen the signs and symptoms and you feel, come on, I'm beginning to have the signs, the symptoms, and just feel like I'm having a migraine, do not take to self-medication. Go see your doctor. Go see your primary care. Go see your primary health care official first before taking any other decision. You may require a referral to a headache specialist. On special cases, you might actually be referred to go see a headache specialist. And this is where we let down the anchor in today's episode of The Spotlight. I trust you've learned a thing or two. Till I come your way next time, keep staying healthy. My name is Victor Waberi, and please do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You could also like our videos and go through other enriching and inspiring health content here on our YouTube channel for your health life. Till I come your way, stay safe.